samavritya naram chaiva naruttamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayamudiraye nastaprayashva bhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naistiki. Srimad Bhagavatam reading, 4th canto, 4th chapter, the creation of the 4th order. Chapter 20, text 27. Bhajetva kila purushottamam Bhajetva kila purushottamam Bhajetva kila purushottamam Gunalayam padmakare valavasaka Padmakare valavasaka Gunalayam padmakare valavasaka Apyavayore kapatis pridurkali Vayore kapatis pridurkali Apyavayore kapatis pridurkali Nasyat kritatvacharanayikatanayo Nasyat kritatvacharanayikatanayo Bhajetva kila purushottamam kila purushottamam Gunalayam padmakarena lalasaka Padmakarena Apyavayore kapatis pridokali Apyavayore kapatis pridokali Nasyat kritatvacharanayikatanayo Ata bhajitva kila purushottamam Gunalayam padmakare valadasaka Apyavayore kapatis pridurkali Nasyat kritatvacharanayikatanayo Atha bhajitva kila purushottamam Gunalayam padmakare valadasaka Apyavayore kapatis pridurkali Nasyat kritatvacharanayikatanayo Atha baditva kila purushottamam gunalayam padmakari valasakam apiya vayorekapati spredorkalir nasyat kritatvacharanayikatanayo attabadetva kena purushottamam gunalayam padmakari valasakam apiya vayorekapati spredorkalir nasyat kritatvacharanayikatanayo. Synonyms: Atha, therefore, RADHJA, I shall engage in devotional service. Tva, unto you, Akila, all-inclusive, Purusha Uttama, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Gunalayam, the reservoir of all transcendental qualities. Padmakara, the goddess of fortune, who carries a lotus flower in her hand. Iva, like, Lalasaka, being desirous. Api, indeed, Avayo, of Lakshmi and me. Ekapati, one master. Spridho, competing. Kalihi, quarrel. Na, not. Syat, may take place. Kruta, having done. Tvacharana, unto your lotus feet. Ekatanayo, one attention. Translation of Prabhupada by His Divine Grace is Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Gita. Now I wish to engage in the service of the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and to serve just like the goddess of fortune who carries a lotus flower in her hand because His Lordship, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is the reservoir of all transcendental qualities. I am afraid that the goddess of fortune and I would quarrel because both of us will be attentively engaged in the same service. Please repeat. Now I wish to engage in the service of the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and to serve just like the goddess of fortune, who carries a lotus flower in her hand, because His Lordship, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is the reservoir of all transcendental qualities. I am afraid that the goddess of fortune and I would quarrel because both of us would be attentively engaged in the same service. Purport. Shall I read to myself or somebody may? Mataji. So pretty.
Yes.
So chant nicely.
Hare Krishna, Supriti Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Radha Pranam. Prabhu, the screen is not shared.
Hare Krishna, you are reading?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. The Lord is here addressed as Akila Purushottama, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord of the entire creation. Purusha means the enjoyer and Uttama means the best. There are different kinds of Purushas or enjoyers within the universe. Generally, they can be divided into three classes: those who are conditioned, those who are liberated, and those who are eternal. In the Vedas, the Supreme Lord is called the Supreme Eternal of all eternals, Nityu Nityanam. Both the Supreme Personality of Godhead and the living entities are eternal. The Supreme Eternals are the Vishnu Tattva or Lord Vishnu and his expansions. So Nitya refers to this personality of Godhead beginning from Krishna to Mahavishnu, Narayana and other expansions of Lord Krishna. As stated in Brahma Samhita, Ramadi Murtishu. There are millions and trillions of expansions of Lord Vishnu as Rama, Nrsimha, Varaha and other incarnations. All of them are called eternal. The word mukta refers to the living entities who never come back within this material world. The Baddhas are those living entities who are almost eternally living within this material world. The Baddhas are struggling very hard within this material world to become free from the threefold miseries of the material nature and to enjoy life, whereas the muktas are already liberated. They never come back into this material world. Lord Vishnu is the master of this material world and there is no question of his being controlled by material nature. Consequently, Lord Vishnu is addressed here as Purushottama, the best of all living entities, namely Vishnu Tattvas and Jiva Tattvas. It is a great offense, therefore, to compare Lord Vishnu and the Jiva Tattva or consider them on an equal level. The Mayavadi philosophers equate the Jivas and the Supreme Lord and consider them to be one, but that is the greatest offense to the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu. Herein, in the material world, we have practical experience that a supreme person is worshipped by an inferior one. Similarly, Purushottama, the greatest, the supreme personality of Godhead, Krishna or Lord Vishnu, is always worshipped by others. Prithu Maharaj therefore decided to engage in the service of the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu. Raj is considered to be an incarnation of Lord Vishnu, but he is called a Shakti Vesha Avatara, Shakti Vesha incarnation. Another significant word in this verse is Gunalayam, which refers to Vishnu as the reservoir of all transcendental qualities. The Mayavadi philosophers, in accordance with the impersonalistic view, take the absolute truth to be Nirguna, without qualities, but actually the Lord is the reservoir of all good qualities. One of the most important qualities of the Lord is his inclination to his devotees, for which he is called Bhakta Vatsala. The devotees are always very much inclined to render service unto the lotus feet of the Lord, and the Lord is also very much inclined to accept loving service from his devotees. In that exchange of service, there are many transcendental transactions which are called transcendental qualitative activities. Transcendental qualities of the Lord are that he is omniscient, omnipresent, all-pervasive, all-powerful, the cause of all causes, the absolute truth, the reservoir of all pleasures, the reservoir of all knowledge, the all-auspicious, and so on. Prithu Maharaj desired to serve the Lord with the goddess of fortune, but this desire does not mean that he was situated on the platform of Madhurya Rasa. The goddess of fortune is engaged in the service of the Lord in the rasa of Madhurya, conjugal love. Although her position is on the chest of the Lord, the goddess of fortune, in her position as a devotee, takes pleasure in serving the lotus feet of the Lord. Prithu Maharaj was thinking only of the lotus feet of the Lord because he is on the platform of Dasya Rasa or servitorship of the Lord. From the next verse, we learn that Prithu Maharaj was thinking of the goddess of fortune as a universal mother, Jagan Mata. Consequently, there was no question of his competing with her on the platform of Madhurya Rasa. Nonetheless, he feared that she might take offense at his engaging in the service of the Lord. This suggests that in the absolute world, there is sometimes competition between the servitors in the service of the Lord, but such competition is without malice. In the Vaikuntha words, if a devotee excels in the service of the Lord, others do not become envious of his excellent service, but rather aspire to come to the platform of that service. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Blessings, Prabhupada. Thank you. Om Ajnanatimiram Vasyam Jnananjanashanakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapanantikam Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasari Gaura Bhaktamrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Namo Namo Shesha Dosha Dura Purna Gunatmane Virincha Sharva Purvidya Vandyaya Shri Varayate Adha Bhajitva Akira Purushottamam Adha Bhajitva
Akila Purushottamam
Gunalayam Padmakare Valalasakha
Gunalayam Padmakare Valarasaha
Apyavayore Kapatis Predurkali
Apiyavayore Kapatis Pedokali
Nasyat Kritatvacharanai Katanayo
Nasyat Kritatvacharanai
Katanayo. Now I wish to engage in this service of the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and to serve just like the Goddess of Fortune who carries a lotus flower in her hand because His Lordship, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is the reservoir of all transcendental qualities. I am afraid that the Goddess of Fortune and I would quarrel because both of us will be attentively engaged in the same service. So, Hare Krishna. Ato sadavaha bhakvarta atra pradrishyante yathamati vivarnam prayatnam kurmaha. Very wonderful meanings here in this verse. So let us discuss by blessings and of our spiritual masters and senior devotees, try to understand this message of Bhagavatam. Rithu Maharaj teaches us actually about exalted state of devotion. He, by one particular word, lalasa, he expresses his attitude. Lalasa, lalasamai. Lalasa means being desirous. Just recently we had a seminar by Sitalanga Gauranga Prabhu, and he very playfully describes, and sometimes he's like dancing and saying la 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 la. So for our simple understanding, what is lalasa? That is a playful blissful mood actually. Yeah, so, and we comment to that actually, and naturally by practice of devotional service. And this ecstatic mood is not superficial and not like in some material happiness, but it is ecstasy, transcendental ecstasy of devotion. So, and it is naturally manifested in liberated souls. Liberated souls, they are always in that mode, as it is somewhere said, bhajantya viratam sukham. Without any interruption, they experience only bliss. There is no sorrow in spiritual world, no contamination, no any ignorance. So, and they are all dedicated to one object of devotion, Akila Purushottama. It is clearly said, Tvam Akila Purushottamam. The Lord, that is a wonderful concept, that there is only one Supreme Ishvara who controls everybody. And his supremacy equally manifested in this world and in spiritual world. It is said, Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchitananda Vigra Anadir Adir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. The cause of all causes is Lord Krishna. Brahma Samhita clearly declares this, and he is Sat Chit Ananda Vigraha. He is eternal, he is full of divine knowledge, Chit, and Ananda, bliss. And in these qualities, he is the highest. Like here I mentioned it, 3 types of living entities: conditioned, Badha Jivas, and liberated, Mukta Jivas, and above everybody is the Supreme Lord, Purushottama. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna, there is an important chapter, Purushottama Yoga Adhyaya, 15th chapter, which describes who is Purushottama. Krishna very nicely, in a very perfect message, words, statements, he describes his supremacy. And later on, all Acharyas repeat the same. Like here now we're situated actually in quite near to one of the very famous holy places, temple of Sri Krishna in Udupi, which founded by Sripada Madhvacharya. This very important Acharya whose name mentioned just right in name of our Sampradaya, Sri Gaudiya Bradha Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya, Brahma Madhva. So Madhva is mentioned there, and he also very much made importance, stressed these points about understanding of supremacy of the Lord, as Srila Prabhupada repeats here in purport. Like Madhvacharya composed when he discovered Sri Krishna Murti in this Gopal, that was in the lamp of Gopi Chanda, and he got it from the sea shore, and all the way he carried by his own hands. That is about 5 kilometers walking to Udupi. So that was quite outstanding, actually, even physically to perform this, because it is very large and full in clay. But Madhvacharya, he was actually embodiment of Hanuman and Bhimasena, the same person, 2 previous incarnations. And originally his Mukhya Prana, Vayu, the presiding of deity of prana in entire universe. So therefore he manifested very wonderful strength also. Not only physical strength, but also strength of intelligence and knowledge about the Lord. And while working, he composed 12 stotras, Dvadasha stotra, in glorification of the Lord. And in 8th stotra, he basically describes the same thing what we read in this verse. It's very beautiful. It sounds like this: Vandita Shesha Vandyor Vrindarakam Chandana Charchito Darapenam Sakam Indira Chanchala Pangani Rajitam Indira Chanchala Pangani Rajitam Trinayamo Vasudevam Devata Mandala Kandam Hamdanam Trinayamo Vasudevam. So in this verse, actually, this first verse, he tells Vandita Shesha Vandyor Vrindarakam. All the greatest personalities of this creation, like Brahma, Shiva, all devatas, they with honor and devotion glorify him. Chandana Charchito Darapenam Sakam. And he anointed with nice chandana. So that was actually quite directly related to Udupi Krishna, because that deity was stored in a huge lamp of Gopi Chanda. And the fame, glory of Mahima of this Murti is, originally it was situated in Dwarka. And Lord Krishna himself manifested similar form to his mother, Devaki. Devaki Devi, for particular reason, because Devaki, he was a mother from whom Krishna born in Mathura. But even though being a mother, she was not able to observe wonderful childhood pastimes of Krishna, which all took place in Vrindavan. So after when Krishna appeared, then immediately he was taken to Vrindavan, and Devaki stayed there in Mathura, and then only she and Vasudeva father met Sri Krishna and Balaram when they came to that to kill Kamsa. So they came to Mathura, and so basically, like normally, that even ordinary child it looks very sweet, very tender, and people like to play and enjoy actually. So by taking care of a sweet child, but you can imagine how much sweet was pastimes of Lord Krishna. It is inconceivable. And the Devaki was very little sad that she was not able to actually witness this misfortune. And then to cover that, Lord Krishna once, while being in Dwarka, manifested again his form of Bala Krishna. Well, same like Damodar was he took that road, churning road, and rode the road which used by Yashoda for making butter. So, and he stood like this. In this way, when Devaki saw him, it is described in a book called Sampradaya Padati, history of this incident, that she became very ecstatic, and Krishna came to her lap, and then she also drank milk from her breast. She immediately was filled with ecstasy, and milk just flowed from chest, from breast, and Krishna drank it, and then she was in complete ecstasy. And for memory of that pastime, Krishna, with help of Vishwakarma, made one this deity. It was very popular deity in Dwarka. They said all Ashtamahishi, eight chief queens of Krishna with great bhakti and devotion, they worship it in some Tulasi garden for that particular murti of Krishna. And eventually, when Dwarka was submerged into ocean, Arjuna came and he stored that deity in one lake, which is there in Gopichanda. That lake, normally from there, originally was taken that chandana which we use for putting tilak. So, and in this form, Krishna wonderfully came, completely miraculous pastime, because there was no any plan, no any human arrangement, because this trading ship, came from Dwarka, and some pieces of Gopi Chandana kept there just for ballast. So, and Madhvacharya took one of them, and right in that was Krishna. So, and therefore, in this verse, he glorified Krishna. Chandana charchito dharati namsakam is very beautiful and udara, broad, hands anointed with chandana. Indira chanchala pangani rajitam. Indira, goddess of fortune, looks on him with chanchala Chantala, like loving glance, which is like very alive. Chantala means it is like playful, very buzzing, bliss, with love. Seeing Mandarottare Vritta Bujod Boginam. And here, this same, the Lord, he performed actually two pastimes. It is said, Mandarottare Vritta Bujod Boginam. With his powerful arms, he lifted Mandara hill. That is an ancient pastime which took place when was churning of milk ocean. So, and that performed by Mandara hill, which used as a churning road. So, but also by the same word, Mandara, we can understand as like another name of Govardhan Hill, because Govardhan Hill can be named by the same name, Mandara, like some interpretation. Manda means like cows, animals, and they enjoy it very much in that hill by pasturing. Krishna taken them. That was very wonderful pastimes in Vrindavan. Therefore, same word is actually can relate to two pastimes of the Supreme Lord. And Lord Krishna, in the most wonderful way, even being Manushya Vigraha, doing pastime as a Manushya, as a human, but he done such a supernatural, wonderful deed by lifting Govardhan Hill and holding it for 7 days with his small finger. So, therefore, some verses like this very nicely describing the supreme position of the Lord Krishna, his pastime. Lord Krishna is particularly why, like our moment of Krishna consciousness is so nicely spread and so influential, and preaching increasing more and more, because Lord Krishna is a special original form of the Lord, which is so sweet, it attracts everybody. And the Lord Chaitanya nicely chanted Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. And thus he inaugurated this moment of Krishna consciousness, pure unalloyed bhakti. And in that same verse, that refrain is a very beautiful refrain. Pandita Mandarottare Pranayamo Vasudevam. It's like marching. So it sounds very beautiful. And meaning is that Pranayamo. What is our meaning of our life? We are only exist to please the Lord, Pranayam, to give priti, love to Him. Devata Mandala Khanda Mandanam, and it is said Devata Mandala. There are so many demigods, so many devatas in the world, in the universe. There are millions, and there are chief demigods, Brahma, Shiva, etc. But in presence of the Lord, even though he was like a human child, but they effulgence become insignificant, mandanam. They become manda. They are very small compared to the Lord. Like when entering, when moon will raise full moon, then stars is insignificant, even though they have a small effulgence, but the moon is so prominent, so wonderful, and it is used as an important comparison to the Supreme Lord, because the Lord is, by his effulgence, is compared first primarily to the moon, even before the sun. For that is one reason. Anybody knows, maybe can suggest why Krishna more looking like a moon comparing to the sun? Maybe anybody in our respected assembly can just why Krishna more looking like a all mute.
You're not
Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Hare Krishna, you understood the question?
Hare Krishna. Why Krishna primarily described it that effulgent like a moon, but also like many suns, maybe.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Pran Chaitanya Das here. Is it because, Prabhuji, the moonlight is very cooling and comforting, and whereas the sun, when it is hot, it's very difficult to bear. So Krishna's effulgence and it's also very comfort giving and cooling for the devotees and everyone.
Yes, exactly. Because sun sometimes it is like burning. It may cause tapa, discomfort, and can make putting us in trouble. There is a drought maybe by the sun. So sometimes it is harmful. But the moon is always very pleasing, especially like in hot climate. So therefore, Krishna described primarily as a moon. Same concept we can see in the most ancient sources, like in Taittiriya Upanishad. It is said, wonderful statement about different effulgent substances in this world. So, and it is said, in the earth, effulgent is the fire. In Antariksha, it is said, effulgent is the vayu, who moves all airs. In heaven, sun. But all of them got like mahiyante, they got their glory by the moon. So it is a little surprising to think, why moon? Because sun is like maybe more prominent actually. It gives energy, gives source of prana. So, but actually, the Acharyas explaining that the moon is more similarity to the Lord. It is much more pleasant. And first of all, like a face of the Lord described is like a moon, so pleasant to see. So it gives pleasure to the heart and rejoicing. So therefore, that comparison is prime. Okay, so, and the same thing here said in this verse. Krishna is Gunalaya. He is the abode of qualities. That's why he is called by this wonderful name as Brahma, Param Brahma, Param Dhamma, Pavitram Paramam Bhavan. So Vedas will describe the Upanishads. They may describe him by this unusual, confidential designation, Brahma, Brahman. So Mayavadis understand it in a very wrong way. They say that the Jyoti, simply Jyoti, impersonal, all-pervading, but Vaishnava understand it correctly. In Jyoti Sham apitat Jyoti, tamasa param uchyate. The Lord is the original source of all Jyoti, of any effulgence, and he is above of any ignorance. And he's a person who is full of divine qualities, and the original content of this designation, Brahma, in Vedanta philosophy, it is called Linga Shabda, significant word. And what is the significance? Brahmhito yasya guna is the qualities of the Supreme Lord, Brihat. It is extremely great, wonderful, incomparable. So, and therefore he is called Gunalaya. This is he is full of divine qualities, and when Acharya, same Madhvacharya want to say about Krishna in the words of Vedanta, he says, Yak sarva guna sampurna sarva dosha vivarjita. He is full of gunas. He is full of divine qualities, merits. Sarva dosha vivarjita. And no any minus fault visible. Nothing, no even stain of fault in him. He is completely perfect. In the material world, we are not able to understand it, actually, with material consciousness, because here, nothing perfect. Everything having some one or other defect, some faults. Even fire producing smoke. Even ganges, that some form and apparently some impurities maybe. And therefore, being in material consciousness, we have this tendency of fault finding. Naturally, because we live in this world, and faults is very pleasant for material consciousness, and that is called this gossip, gramya katha. People gather and speak what politics, what some mundane things happen. Like if meet any person here in Karnataka, they will, first of all, they will say, Enu Vishesha, Enu Illa. They say, no, it's nothing special actually. Or if any Vishesha, they will say, oh, something, somebody, some big shot came and then we performed his pastime. News came, this and that, some material incidents. And they will, every day, so many newspapers come in, now on the internet, so many, what is called, rubbish news. So they not so much take interest into describing glories of the Lord. For them it is not attractive. For them they are more pleasant to find all dirty and nasty subjects. And they say, oh, this is so interesting to know about this and that. So, but why this tendency? Because of pollution, because of this contamination. But if we turn to spiritual consciousness, Krishna consciousness, then we enjoy in opposite, in the pure and divine Supreme Lord, and we find so many wonderful details here about Krishna, and really it gives we can experience same enjoyment what mukta jivas say, like the Sprithu Maharaj says, lalasa, lala. So we may also, like Shetalanga Guranga Prabhu, la 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 la. So we may feel happiness, natural, ecstatic. So, and interesting message here also, last part, second part of the verse. Prithu Maharaj says, I am little worrying that afraid that the goddess of fortune and I will quarrel, because both of us will be attentively engaged in the same service. So what a possibility for that. Actually, we can see that if we approach for devotional service with material consciousness, so our material way of thinking, material way of dealing, so there are always some competition, liking, disliking, some which may cause fighting spirit, disagreement. So, but actually, it is in the spiritual world, it is not possible. And by other interpretation of the same verse, we can understand it. It is not possible, because he says, Nasyat kritatva charanaika tanayoho, eka tanayoho. Tanaya means Tanaya means dear, and we are both dedicated to one object, and between spiritual people, actually, when we come to advanced stage, there is no conflict. We always can be in harmony. In material world, it happens, and there are one interesting narrative story which comes in Panchatantra. Panchatantra tells some niti, some instructive stories. So, and there comes a story about famous symbol of actually Karnataka state, Gandhabirunda. Gandhabirunda, two-headed eagle. So, this royal symbol which came from Vijayanagar, actually, and in Mysore also they have same Gandhabirunda, and it is till now it is in Karnataka kept because historical it is. And if we go to temple, take darshan of Udupi Krishna, often they put a Gandhabirunda right on the chest of Krishna. And even Balaji in Tirupati, they also sometimes keep this decoration of Gandhabirunda, because that is a symbol of supremacy. And naturally, that they offer it for Krishna. And also, in ancient tradition, why they took this symbol, Vaishnava kings like Krishna Deva Raya, they took it as a symbol for the military, this flag, something, they kept it. Because Gandhabirunda actually is a form of Lord Narasimha, who protects from subtle, this evil things, from subtle, like what is called, subtle influences gives protection. So, but Panchatantra kind of explaining other thing, explaining how disagreement is harmful. And they say it is story is like this, that there is Gandhabirunda, two-headed eagle, two heads, and these heads always conflict, or always, if one head says something, then another wants to tell just opposite, always fighting. So, and it is not good. Same body, should be agreement, otherwise not possible to achieve. And how it manifested particular pastime that one head of Gandhabirudha says, it is very nice to take amritam, nectar. It is so nourishable, it is so sweet and enjoyable, and it takes amritam. But another head have to do opposite, never agrees to the first one, and they say, no, I don't like anything of you, therefore I will take poison. So then she takes poison, but they both live in the same body, and therefore entire birth is died due to that. So therefore, and this actually meaty, instructive message here that how much harmful, how much it is causes distraction, misagreement, if we finding faults and if we are not able to work and serve together, we can destroy everything. Even Srila Prabhupada told that this Krishna consciousness is so powerful, no any external force can afflict or stop it. But if we quarrel within, then that may cause to collapses. So we should be very careful and respectful for Vaishnavas, and maximum extent try to avoid it, follow Vaishnava etiquette, and then we can serve nicely and be protected by mercy of Guru and Gauranga. May I stop now? Any comments and questions? Please, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, any questions?
No, Prabhuji, we are satisfied. Just give the Lord darshan, because this class was also based on the Lord. So we are expecting the Lord darshan.
No question, Prabhuji.
Okay. So that means message is quite clear.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Then with pranam. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Sada pranam.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Pandita.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Sada pranam.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
Pranam, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Sadar pranam, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
सादर प्रणाम प्रभुजी।
हरे कृष्णा
Hare Krishna, Hare
दंडवत
Krishna,
प्रणाम।
Krishna
कृष्ण
Krishna,
कृष्ण
Hare
हरे
Hare,
हरे
Hare
हरे
Rama,
राम
Hare
हरे
Rama,
राम
Rama
राम
Rama,
राम
Hare
हरे
Hare,
हरे
Hare
हरे
Krishna,
कृष्ण
Hare
हरे
Krishna,
कृष्ण
Krishna
कृष्ण
Krishna,
कृष्ण
Hare
हरे
Hare,
हरे
Hare
हरे
Rama,
राम
Hare
हरे
Rama,
राम
Rama
राम
Rama,
राम
Hare
हरे
Hare,
हरे
Hare
हरे कृष्ण
Krishna,
हरे
Hare
कृष्ण
Krishna,
हरे
Krishna
कृष्ण हरे हरे
Hare
हरे
Rama,
राम
Hare
हरे
Rama,
राम
Rama
राम
Rama,
राम
Hare
हरे
Hare.
हरे
कृष्ण
Hare
कृष्ण
Krishna.
हरे
I would like
हरे
to express
हरे
my wish. Like we often have international
Rama Rama Hare
conferences,
Hare
also
Hare
like
Krishna Hare
reading
Krishna Krishna
Bhagavatam
Krishna
or
Hare
Bhagavad Gita, and we find very beneficial and helpful, like those hearers in Zoom who will gather, that if actually be full attention here, and then they will switch on also video, so we can see their faces. So, and we can more feel direct presence of our assembly, and more better way interact in this way. Because if only some small pictures name are there, and we're not fully sure how much if anybody really hears, or maybe they simply put on and very busy with some homeworks. That also happens, and maybe switch on, but then computer itself enjoys this message, and but actual person may be a little away from discussion. So, but if possible, if somebody is free, why not sit and show your auspicious face with Tilaka like Shiva, Kumar, Gadadhara, Prabhuji, now immediately reacted. So we see result. Yes, it's wonderful. And from here we can see you also. So that will enhance actually our, give to us more chances for service to engage our senses. Because we sometimes hear a voice, but also we can engage eyes and see your devotional, inspired, smiling faces. Hare Krishna. And that is my humble request.
Hare Krishna, everybody. Hare Krishna. Pancha kalpatarubhasya kripa sindhubheva cha patitanam pavane vaishnava namo namah. Anant koti vaishnava ki jai.